I want to welcome our MP, Yasir Naqvi, as we have one of our community conversations of St. John the Evangelist with our neighbors. So welcome, Yasir. And I know you have a deep connection with this neighborhood. Would you tell us a bit of your story of being here in this community?
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for having me and be part of this conversation. I've lived in Ottawa for a long time. Like many people in this community, I came as a student to University of Ottawa, and just absolutely fell in love with the city and the sense of community in this city. I've lived in the downtown core in Centretown for a long period of time, and that's where I really decided to appreciate what our community is about. I served on many local community boards such as the Centretown Community Health Center before I was elected, where I got to really see some of the challenges in our communities as well, and that's probably was one of the inspirations for me to seek public office.
Now, this is not your first public office.
It's not. I've served for almost 11 years as the member of provincial parliament, same community, Ottawa Centre, and then sought office and fortunate enough to be elected to serve the community as a member of parliament.
And how long ago was that?
The first time I ran was in 2007, and so I served as MPP from 2007 till 2018, and I've been a member of parliament since 2021. About a year, I was elected about a year ago.
Okay, well, congratulations. I am new, as new to the neighborhood then as you are to that second role.
Yeah, okay.
So, in your time of knowing this community, and obviously things have changed over time, what would you say are the most pressing needs for this particular neighborhood?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and our community is growing. I'm often reminded of the fact that we are a downtown community of a G7 country, and this is a capital city. But some of the challenges I've noticed in our community has persisted, and the number one I will highlight to you is homelessness. We still have a huge issue around homelessness. People who are chronically homeless, they have some significant issues around mental health and addiction. A lot of them obviously are marginalized. A lot of them come from indigenous communities, and as much as effort is being put to create safe, affordable homes with services for those individuals, we have not eliminated the problem. And the pandemic in particular, which we're still living through, I think has even exacerbated the challenge. And that's one of the things that probably keeps me up in the night, is how do we put an end to chronic homelessness and find safe homes with supports for individuals in our community.
The pandemic has really had a big effect on all churches, but on St. John's as well. We've noticed that homelessness as well here, right in this neighborhood. And also, we began making videos as part of the pandemic. So we've moved into new ways of communicating with our wider community. And one of the things that affected us last year was we were delayed from returning back to in-person services because of the blockade. Now that's already receded in our memory, and hopefully there won't be another closure like that. But what would you say we've learned from that experience of the blockade here in Ottawa and in this neighborhood?
Well, first and foremost, I call it the occupation because it was an occupation of our downtown. It has had a traumatic impact on our community. I still continue to meet members of community who either live in Centretown or who have small businesses in our community who are shaken up by that experience. We're a capital city. We are used to protests, but we've never seen anything to that magnitude. So I will say to you, Reverend, that the impact has been lasting. Those, again, people who've had other challenges in life felt it most. I continue to hear from people who are racialized or belong to the LGBT community, people who had some sort of a disability. They even suffered even more because of those intersectionalities. I was having a conversation the other day with a member of our Jewish community who felt the trauma again of Holocaust was a child of a Holocaust survivor because they saw Nazi symbolism in our downtown core. These things cannot just be washed away overnight, and I think it's a stain on us for some time, and we need to continue working on it in bringing that health and vibrancy back to our community.
I know that there was another attempt at this kind of demonstration around Canada Day, and it was treated very differently. It seemed like there's a learning curve to how to deal with this kind of protest.
I think we all have learned. Obviously, locally, our municipality and our police service, but I can also tell you at the federal government level, there was far more awareness of what needs to happen. There was far better coordination of effort between the different orders of government to ensure that that we protect people's right to protest peacefully and lawfully, because that is important in a democracy, but also ensure that other people's rights are preserved and protected as well.
Mm-hmm. So today we are speaking to our St. John's parishioners and our extended circle of friends, as well as to those who use the well, the ministry that shares our building here. And I wondered how familiar you are with our two communities, St. John's and the well.
Well, fairly well, given I've been a member of this community for a long time and I have the privilege of serving the community. I've visited the well. I have through our community office, we help a lot of individuals, and some of them receive very important services from the parish as well, and through all the good work that's being done through the well and La Source.
Okay, well, thank you. As you know, we are going to be having a special event for the community. St. John's and the Well will be co-presenting a Sunday to talk about our shared work in the neighborhood. That's going to be Sunday, September the 18th. Yasir Naqvi will be with us for that service, but also Joel Harden, our MPP, and McKenney, our City Councillor. So we invite you to hear from all of them as we share our vision for functioning and serving and intending the well-being of our whole neighborhood. And so you'll hear Yasir as well as other community representatives. There will be food served as well, and we invite you to come and informally chat with them following the service. So that's Sunday, September the 18th at 10:15 a.m. and we'll be glad to have you with us then.
Thank you, and I do encourage other members of community to join as well. See firsthand the really important work is being done to help some of the people who are perhaps the most marginalized in our community. And I always felt that it should be our collective effort to help those individuals.
For that service, we'll of course be speaking from our sacred text. We'll be reading from our scriptures. And as one of the clergy in the Anglican Diocese of Ottawa, I try to tie my outlook on community life, my role in community life, to how that arises from our sacred texts. And I wondered if you might be so bold as to say what inspires you in a spiritual way to be serving our community.
Yeah, my thank you for asking that. And my connection always, and my source of inspiration has been community. And I'm somebody who really believe in the interfaith dialogue, and that how our collective wisdom really it helps us. I'm of Muslim faith, of course, and the Quran is the holy book, which is in many senses been seen as accumulation of other monotheist faith. And what has always I found the most attractive part is the very first verse, the very first word used in the Quran is the word Iqra, which means to read. And so there's this whole emphasis to learn. And that something was imparted upon me by my parents. Is always to read, to talk to other people, to listen to other people and learn from them, because I think that's where a lot of our understanding and wisdom comes from.
Thank you, and we'll look forward to hearing more about that. And we hope that you will join us on Sunday, September 18th at 10:15, or come any Sunday, and we're so glad to have you with us at St. John the Evangelist at the corner of Somerset and Elgin Streets in downtown Ottawa. Welcome.
Thank you.